as the world went topsy-turvy, and I was unable to tell up from down, left from right, and basically all of my senses just went haywire. I even lost the ability to really see, suddenly being blinded with an never-ending flash of colors and light. I could still hear, but the sounds that I heard didn't seem to make any sense. It was just a chaotic mash of noise, like having 30 different radios all blaring max volume, and each and every one of them playing different music. I couldn't make sense of any of it. I mean, I was still conscious, or at least I think I was conscious, but even my sense of feeling, whether I was standing, sitting, laying, I couldn't tell. I was simply overcome with a feeling like pins and needles everywhere. Like that feeling you get when you wake up from a night's sleep and you slept on your arm wrong. Just everywhere. I really have no idea how long it went on like that. It could have been just a few seconds or hours. Even my sense of time seemed to just fade away, disappearing into nothing. It could have been an eternity for all I knew. But finally, my senses started to return to me. As they did, I felt a somewhat familiar sensation. I felt like I was laying down. In fact, I was, in a very familiar place. I was laid down on top of my bed. As my eyes started to regain their ability to perceive the world around me, I stared up at the roof of my steel mill home, and from my peripheral vision, quickly noticed that there were some people beside me. Emily and Al were right there, sitting in chairs beside the bed, just staring at me. As I came to and started trying to lift myself up off the bed. "Jax, are you okay?" Emily asked, seeming very concerned. "You've been out for hours. We were absolutely considering putting a bullet in that doctor." "You got that shit right," Al said. "I felt like doing it the moment you passed out, but he assured us that we should give it some time. But I'm gonna be honest, my patience was wearing thin. So it's good for him that you woke up. You can hear me, right? Whatever that shit was didn't screw up your hearing," Al said, trying to look me over and tell if I was registering what he was saying. "Yeah, Al, I can hear you," I replied, beginning to feel over myself, the back of my neck to start with. It didn't feel painful. Neither did any of the other places where those vials were attached. By all measures, I seemed to feel fine. "Oh, good. You've woken up," I heard a voice say. Yeah, Emily. I thought that was obvious. I mean, you already said that." For a moment, Emily looked at me with a strange expression that began to grow more concerned as a few seconds started to tick by. "What are you talking about?" Emily replied. "I haven't said anything past the initial, whole thank God you're up bit. It appears as if the upgrade has functioned properly. Your mental rerouting is complete, and all of your internal and external systems seem to be functioning properly," I heard the voice announce once again. Who the hell is that?" I announced aloud, starting to look around the room. "It's me. I mean, you don't know who I am?" the voice said, as I gazed around curiously. "No, I don't know who you are, and I'd really like to know where you are," I said, looking past Emily and Al, seeing Danny and the doctor standing a little further in the background. Danny, who had just lowered a gun that he had pointed at the doctor, and looking fairly unhappy about it, rolling his eyes as he tucked it away back in his holster. Okay, he's not dead, but he's hearing voices. I mean, we could still kill him for that, right? I mean, he gave him a procedure that drove him loopy. He should at least get a shot in the leg for that, Danny said, trying to negotiate this so that he'd get to bring some harm to the doctor at minimum. I sense external vibrations. I feel as if people are talking. I've been feeling it for some time. However, I'm unable to actually hear what they're saying. Would you mind telling me? The voice said, asking me very politely. Well, what do you mean you can't hear them talking? I mean, you're here, aren't you? Like, even if you're in my head, I hear them, so you should be able to hear them, right? No, I'm not in your head. I'm here in the room. According to my sensors, I'm approximately 15 feet from your current location. Is that beyond a wall of some sort? Perhaps I'm inside of an object. I'm uncertain as to what my physical form is. Whoa, hold the phone. Your physical form? How can you not know what your physical form is? I asked, once again aloud. Jax, you're starting to worry me. There's no one else here. It's just us. Well, quite simply, my program existed within a nanite solution, scattered across countless microscopic machine parts, and was uploaded into a physical format, a solid-state memory bank, where my program could be housed. Wait a second. Your program? Yes, I am an artificial intelligence program. My designation is Titan. I do not know what my form is, but there are many functions available to me. Perhaps you would be able to assess who I am if I activated one of them. Give me a second, I'll try, she said, as suddenly the engine on my motorcycle roared to life. Everyone in the room suddenly being surprised by it, turning around and beginning to stare at the motorcycle, revving its engine. That strange thumbing sound and the blue light beginning to emanate from the crevices of the armor. There, I've activated the primary power source for my systems. Are these functions at all visible to you? And in that moment, I was completely dumbfounded for words. Okay, my motorcycle is talking to me. Once again, I said aloud. What? Emily said, with a shocked expression on her face, staring at me, glancing back and forth between me and the motorcycle. Yeah, guys, the voice I'm hearing, it's the motorcycle. Apparently, it can talk to me now. As a matter of course, that is both really cool and somewhat terrifying. I mean, I didn't really plan for my motorcycle to have a personality. A motorcycle, the voice announced. So I am a motorcycle. Is that correct? Yeah, I replied, beginning to pick myself up off the bed, walking past Emily and Al, as Danny and the doctor cleared a little bit of space. So, what is the primary function of a motorcycle? They must not need to be able to see or hear, the voice said, because I seem to be incapable of doing those things. I mean, it is somewhat bothersome. For whatever reason, I simply don't feel comfortable not being able to see or hear. You are, of course, my owner, so if this is the format you wish, I suppose I will just need to become accustomed to it. But by all means, please tell me, What is the primary function of a motorcycle? I wish to fulfill my purpose, the voice said as the blue glow of the engine began to die down, turning itself off, and I stood beside the motorcycle, peering down at it. Holy shit. My motorcycle can talk. This is going to take some adjustment.